Sorry. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the November 22nd Zoning and Land Regulation Committee. First item on the agenda is public comment for any item not listed on the agenda. Seeing none, I'll go on and introduce our committee members. We have Supervisor Jerry Bullock, Supervisor Dennis O'Laughlin. We'll be joined hopefully soon by Supervisor Patrick Miles, and I haven't heard anything from Supervisor Matano. With us this evening from staff is Assistant Zoning Administrator Dan Everson and Director of Planning and Development Todd Violante. Good, and Majid stayed?
He did, yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Also with us this evening are Youth Governance members Joe Finkelmeyer and Garrett Stolen. So just how we conduct the meeting tonight, it will, again, this is a public hearing on zoning petitions and conditional use permit applications. Any persons wishing to speak in favor or in opposition must fill out one of these white registration forms and submit the sheet to Dan. When a petition is called, the petitioner will be asked to come to the podium to address the committee. We ask that the petitioner state their name, address, the petition request, and reasons for the request. The petitioner will be given up to 5 minutes to address the committee. The order of registrants is as follows. After the petitioner or agent, any other person wishing to speak in favor, then persons wishing to speak in opposition. All speakers will be given 5 minutes to speak. If there is opposition, the petitioner or agent will be given an additional opportunity at the end of the public hearing to provide a rebuttal to the opposition. The petitioner will be given 3 additional minutes. All speakers will address the committee, the 3 of us up here, and not individuals in the audience. There will be no running debate. The committee will not take action on a petition until the applicable town has filed a report with the zoning division. The deadline for the towns to submit an action report to the county is the Thursday prior to this meeting date. Public testimony is taken at this meeting. However, if town action has not been received, a decision will be made at a subsequent meeting. If there is public opposition on a petition, the petition will be postponed until the next meeting of the committee. This will give the petitioner and staff an opportunity to work out matters between parties. If the town's action has been submitted and there is no opposition to a petition, the committee may act on the petition and refer the petition to the county board. If the committee passes the petition unanimously, your presence at the county board may not be necessary. However, if the petition is controversial, it is advised that you attend the county board meeting. Committee action on a conditional use permit is the final action of the county. These applications are not referred to the county board. The next county board meeting is December 1st. The next CLR committee meeting is July 12th. I'm reading this right here. Yeah. December 13th. Yeah, this is an old form. Okay. Supervisor Matano has joined us, and we will have the first petition, which is 11,053, Mary Jeskeland in the town of Dunn. That's both of us. Come on up. Thank you. We got Richard and Mary?
Yeah. That's us.
Thank you.
We have been asked to bring the floor plan, and so we have brought it with us. Do you wish to see it?
If there's questions, but do we have it up here?
Yeah.
Okay. You're good. There might be questions later,
okay.
So it'll be good that you have it.
We also have a business plan, which was also suggested.
Okay, thank you. If you would just tell us about your petition, just briefly.
Yes. We would like to open a bed and breakfast with 2 rooms and looking for 40 to 50 rentals per year as a modest additional retirement income. The residence was built in 1962. It's been recently renovated, requires no further capital expense. And my wife and I will do all the work. I'm the laundry man.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in support? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Dan?
The town has approved with no conditions, and just to kind of go over the overall petition, the property is designated for an ag preservation area. The town plan policy states that it supports bed and breakfast and other agritourism businesses in this area, in this land use area, provided they do not negatively impact existing land uses on neighboring residents.
And for the committee to note that there's also a CUP, it's right below the rezone request, it's 2361.
I'll make a motion to approve the CUP first with the conditions.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the CUP with conditions, and we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of CUP 2361, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the CUP is approved.
Now I'll make a motion to approve the zoning as presented.
And I heard a second? Okay, great. We have a motion to approve and a second for rezone 11,053. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the rezone is approved.
So it's an RH2 yet? Yeah, no.
Correct. So thank you for bringing all that information. It's good just in case people have questions.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Just for the sake of clarification, it's not officially approved until it goes through the county board process and signed by the executive and published. So there's a little bit of process.
Right.
But the formal vote of the zoning committee is done, and likely no controversy at the county board when there's a unanimous vote coming up.
Well, the questions that they had at the town of Dunn was the signs. One was the signs, and we have 36 by 39 inch sign that has always been there. There'll be no additional signs. There might be a couple of reflectors on it, but that will be all that we'll have.
And I don't know if you heard my introduction. So this was non-controversial. You didn't have any opposition. It's approved by the town.
Right.
So I would anticipate the county board would approve it. It's up to you if you would like to attend the county board meeting.
Would it be better for us to attend the county board?
No.
They don't care whether we're there or not.
I have a question, though, if I may interrupt.
Yes.
When will we be officially notified?
You want to?
After so it'll go through the county board process, go to the executive for signature, and then it goes to the clerk for publishing. Is it the publishing date, Dan, that is the official?
I believe so. It's usually a few weeks after the county board meeting.
Like how many weeks?
I'd say by
60.
the 1st of January,
Yeah.
you should be receiving.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's safe.
Thank you all very much.
You're welcome.
We
Thank you for
appreciate
coming.
your time.
So you're used to getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and starting breakfast for
We
people?
enjoy it.
Actually, we're going to have a continental breakfast. It'll be quite, I've already worked it all out, so.
All right, moving on to petition 11,054. It's various landowners in the town of Albion.
Yeah, I don't know if this needs a formal setup or not, but the properties proposed for A1 exclusive and A4 zoning are located in the town's agricultural preservation planning area. The properties proposed for A2 and A3 zoning are located in the town's commercial and commercial reserve planning areas, and the town has approved.
And do we have anyone here on that?
I don't think so.
Second.
So we have a motion to approve in a second of rezone 11,054 from the town of Albion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the rezone is approved. Next is 11,055, Goatzian Trust, I would take it, town of York.
I'm Richard Gotzian, and basically what we're doing is moving our lot line because we're going to sell our house. Originally, we built that house on 40 acres. We divided off 2.8 acres, and then we developed a driveway, a metal shed, and a pond. And the new buyer would like to have all those things on his. So that's that's the zoning difference. We're not taking anything out of ag. And we're going to continue to own the ag property. And we've already met with the town. So I think everything's in order. Right?
Yep.
Anyone else wishing to speak in support? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Dan?
The town has approved with no conditions.
I move approval. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And it's approved. Thank you.
And the county board meeting is the 1st of December, did they say?
Correct. That Thursday night, first Thursday.
And it probably won't be necessary for us. Thank you much.
You're welcome, thank you. Next is rezone 11,056 in the town of Springdale.
Hi there, my name is Scott McGettigan. I own Turn 2 Auto Repair on the property at 7984 County Road. It's currently zone C2, and I'm here because we're changing some of the deed restrictions on the zoning to allow for more vehicles for repair and take off the construction vehicles on the property.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in support? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Dan?
The town of Springdale has approved with conditions. There's two, a deed restriction or deed restrictions, and a deed notice needs to be recorded.
I move approval with those conditions. I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. Discussion, Supervisor Laughlin?
Are you comfortable with those two minor restrictions?
Yeah, there was a few conditions on the deed restriction that they had listed.
Yeah, the deed restriction shall be recorded on the property to limit the following land uses in the C2 commercial district. Repairs to motor vehicles only. All provisions for construction, contracting business, and construction equipment on the property in petition 4963 shall be removed from the property by this petition. And then we get into the 12 conditions with regards to the deed restriction. You want me to go through them?
Yeah, I know what they
Okay.
are.
You're familiar with them, all right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And rezone is approved. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, next is rezone 11,057, James Seabury in the town of Dane.
Hello. My name is James Seabury. I live at 7097 Highway E in Dane, Wisconsin. And I'm looking to get rezoned to A2 because the property that I'm on is currently residential, I think 1. And I'm looking to build a 50 by 100 pole building on there, and the height restriction is the main problem that I'm running into there. So I need to get rezoned for that purpose only.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak in support? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay.
The town has approved with no conditions.
I have a
Move
question
approval.
I have a question for Stan first. You have a note on your staff report.
Yes.
Is that a suggested condition, or is it just a note of record, or what's the purpose of that note?
That is just a standard condition based upon the underlying zoning district as a reminder to the landowner.
So it's not a condition of
No.
this? Okay.
Yep.
That was my question.
Motion to approve?
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have the motion and a second to approve. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And it's approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Rezone 11,058, Houston Holdings in the town of Cottage Grove.
Hi, Dave Rush, 5113 Ridge Road, McFarland, president of the Madison Area Radio Control Society. We are just looking to amend the hours of flying for gas and glow airplanes, and that's all kind of stated in there.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in support? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay, we have opposition. If you can share, or you can Go ahead.
My understanding was this was a slightly broader meeting, but I would like to address the broader issue. My name is Penny Andrews, and I'm here to address the 5-year conditional permit sought by the Madison Area Remote Control Society for an R1 permit. I've lived at 2274 Uphoff for 26 years. I moved to the country for the peace and quiet it offers. Now I live directly east of where these remote control planes fly, and my life and the lives of 2 of my neighbors have been negatively impacted by this decision to place this airfield in Houston's backyard. The airstrip is placed a good distance from Mr. Houston's home, and I doubt he is impacted. Last year, when input was being sought, I was caregiving my daughter who had broken her back. I did not have the space in my life to consider a hypothetical airfield and presumed there would be points where I could give feedback down the road. During the evaluation period in 2015, one neighbor who had objected to the noise that the town board had come to her home to evaluate, one of the board members had the audacity to suggest that if the back of her house was too loud, couldn't she go to the front where she'd hear less noise? That neighbor has lived in her home 33 years. When I came before the town board in September of this year, with a 1-year assessment of the impact on my property, and saying that it was negatively impacting the quality of life for those of us nearest, the town board dismissed it without further consideration. When the Marks Airfield was located at the county dump, there were no residents nearby. Upon doing a Google Earth search, it does not appear that there are residents nearby the Lodi airstrip. Verona's airstrip appears to have more distance between the homes and the airfield. The gas and glow airplanes sound like chainsaws, and the electric airplanes have a high pitch like a dentist's drill. Dane County has many areas where there are no nearby residences. Remote control devices need such a space. It seems more suited to the type of placement that gun clubs have. In early July of this year, when the airstrip was finally in place and good flying weather permitted, I was out gardening and could not believe the level of noise I was experiencing. I spoke with the town of Cottage Grove clerk and Dave. Things were adjusted, but it remains beyond an acceptable level. Most recently, in October, on a Saturday, there was a day with a great deal of activity and the noise was fairly constant. Flight is permitted almost 365 days a year in this place, within certain hours and qualifying certain planes. The days that make for good flying are coincidentally the days when we want to be outside in our backyards. I'm concerned that a recreational activity has taken precedence over quality of life for residents in Dane County. And I've collected some websites and some material for your perusal. Things are set the way they are right now. I didn't realize this was 2 hours specific to the extension, but I did want to make my feelings known to you.
Thank you. Go ahead. We'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Mr. Houston, you have 3 minutes for rebuttal.
So the conditions that I set up were actually with me having conversation with the neighbors that live right here, the Vines, that had the concerns about us being there in the first place. Bonnie's house is right here. Wilmer Larson, who was at the planning meeting, which I know you were not at, I asked him what his was, and he's told me that he's not hearing anything. The one thing that we adjusted is gas and glow planes. There's a cattle corral right here that you can't see, so we have them go north to try to keep the distance from that. actually the distance from your house to
If you
Dwight
just address
Houston.
the
I'm
committee,
sorry.
please.
The
Yeah, just the
distance-
committee.
The distance to Mr. Houston's, I know one's down here, but his brother's home, horse, or farm is right there. So it is a similar distance, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dan?
Yeah. Where am I? The town has addressed the concerns and issues. There is a separate page that was submitted by the town of Cottage Grove with regards to approval with conditions. All planes that, you want me to go through these in detail, or? It's also, this is what was submitted a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago.
So we can consider those conditions.
Yeah. All planes that fly must be documented to have passed the 85 decibel test at 50 feet away, sitting on the ground. Flights are limited to 10-minute maximum with a 5-minute break in between. No more than 2 in an air at a time. Everything's to be logged. If there is a complaint or if something seems to be too loud, neighbors may contact Marks, the president. To stay farther away from the Andrews residence, gas and glow planes will fly no farther to the east than the cattle corral. The exception to this will be if the wind is out of the westerly direction. Planes will go farther to the east to set up landing into the wind. The power is much lower, so the decibel level for these landing approaches is way down. Then we got hours of operation. And then there's a section in here with regards to rally events and specific times, and also a 30-day notice is to be provided.
Go ahead.
Are you comfortable with this?
I'm saying I'm not.
No, I'm not addressing you, I'm asking
Oh.
the applicant.
Ideally, we would like to be able to have more hours for people to fly, but when I talked with the one neighbor, we had the opportunity to do that, and we can live with that.
So you're accepting the conditions?
Yeah, I wrote those up.
The question I guess I would have is, when we take off out of Madison, 1-8 in a left-hand turn, slow left-hand turn, how close are we with the F-16s to your property? Can you hear them pretty good?
Can I hear the F-16s
Yeah.
in McFarland? Oh, yes.
Oh, here, I mean.
Oh, here, can we hear them? Yes.
Okay. Because I was thinking, 1-8 out, come on up to, I think it's 1,500 feet, then you have to pull and do a 180 back north. I think we're coming pretty close to your property, aren't we?
We see more of the
Commercial?
passenger, the commercial jets
Yeah.
coming in on that line when the wind's coming out of the northerly direction.
What altitude do you fly at? 200?
200, we're not supposed to fly higher than 400 feet.
Not higher than 400.
Not higher than 400 feet. Yeah. So gliders go higher than that, but with our proximity to the Cottage Grove Airport,
Right.
everybody's got a spotter, so you're full scale. There are
85
some ultralights in the area as well.
85 decibel, 50 feet. That sounds like a
We chose
motorcycle, 300 cc motorcycle, maybe.
We chose that because that's the city of Madison's
Okay.
level for a nuisance in town. Figuring that our Academy of Model Aeronautics, they use 92 decibels at 20 feet.
Yeah.
We thought getting it lower to the 85, it's the decibel thing is such a
Well, 85 at 50 feet is not a ear-shattering noise. It's there.
no.
Yeah.
And I know the day that you said in October there was a lot of activity that you might have been hearing. I'm sorry.
Continue. Okay.
I apologize.
Other questions
I know.
from
I apologize.
committee members? Anyone in opposition?
Mm-hmm. I'll move to postpone.
Uh, The motion to postpone has been seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of postponement, say aye.
Aye.
And motion, or rezone is postponed.
Who was the second on that motion?
Matano.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
To whom should I give these?
Oh, I can take them. Yeah, we can.
Either opposition or support questions that you have.
What do I
Next
need
steps.
to do next?
We'll have, it will be on our agenda, I assume, on December 13th, and it will be under items from previous meetings. So we'll talk about it further at that time.
So because nobody had shown up at any of the town meetings in opposition, 3 of our club members are from Cottage Grove. I told them I didn't think they needed to come tonight,
Yeah.
and
It's our
that-
committee rules that if there's
I knew
opposition.
that, yeah.
we
Roger
won't
had
make a
explained
decision.
that to me.
So if they
Is
come.
it beneficial to have them come as Cottage Grove residents? Or
It's
not
up to you. If it gives supervisors an opportunity to ask follow-up questions if they want. If you felt that they would have an answer to a question that you may not know, it's up to you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next is 11,059 Bar Down in the town of Verona.
Hi, I'm Robert Proctor. I'm the attorney for Bar Down LLC. This is simply, the petition is to correct a misunderstanding that led to a misunderstanding in drafting. Literally nothing's changing. It's a 21-unit residential subdivision, or condominium, but residential units, 51 acres. The deed restriction that the town initially requested was no unit would be less than 2 acres, including all of the common element roads. All the common element roads fell off. And there were 4 units that were approved both by the town and the county originally that were less than 2 acres. So then a deed restriction went in place after the fact that basically made 4 of them non-conforming. So all we're asking for, the purpose of the deed restriction was to say there would be no more than 21 units in the 51 acres. And that's really the key. And so we would like it changed to say 21 units with only 1 building site per unit, and the smallest being 1.6 acres. And I'm just going to tell you from talking to the town, the town hasn't taken it up yet. But the initial feedback we had is they're probably going to clarify it a little bit more and say only the 4 that are less than 2 get to be 1.6 acres or what they are. So we expect that clarification to come back. But to us, it's the same thing. Nothing's going to change. This is just to correct a drafting misunderstanding.
Anyone else wishing to speak in support? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Dan?
The town action is pending. Staff does suggest that the existing deed restrictions be amended to limit the land use to no more than 21 detached single-family dwellings only, with no single unit under 1.6 acres in size.
Postpone to town action. Second.
Okay. We have the motion and the second to postpone due to lack of town action. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the rezoning is postponed. Next is rezone 11,061, various landowners in the town of Cottage Grove. Do we have any?
I don't believe so.
Okay. You tell us. Ann?
The town has approved. There is a note in here that says the original request included 2 tax parcels being rezoned from A3 to A1 exclusive and placed into the town's farmland preservation planning area. Those parcels have been removed from the petition at the request of the property owner, and no change is required, as the properties are already located outside of the farmland preservation area. My map up here. I'm behind schedule. There you go. Anything else?
And what the town do? Town approved?
Town has approved, yes.
I'm gonna
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Discussion on rezone 11,061. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And it is approved. Next item from previous meetings, rezone 11,047, Thomas M. Anderson in the town of Dunn. And Mr. Anderson is here. It's from our previous meeting, so you're welcome to have a seat. But it's, any discussion, questions for staff? Update?
The petition, yes, was postponed due to no town action on October 25th. Since then, the petition was revised to reduce the size of Anderson's residential property in order for the Corrals property to be over 35 acres in size. Therefore, there's no need for the A4 zoning district. The lands around the residential property will remain A1 exclusive. The town has approved with the following amendment. The petition shall be amended to assign the zoning district classification of RH2 to the newly reconfigured 4.7 acre parcel. The lands around the residential lot shall retain the A1 exclusive zoning.
Move approval, recommend approval as amended by the town.
Second.
So we have a motion to approve as amended by the town, and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of rezone 11,047 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it is approved. Thank you for coming this evening. Okay, next is plats and certified survey maps.
Last but not least, we have a final plat that is looking for a signature. This is Aspen Meadow Estates, Town of Middleton, Section 32. This consists of 12 residential lots with 3 outlots. Just go over the outlots real quick. Outlot 1 is being designated as stormwater management areas. Outlot 2 is reserved for future residential uses by the City of Madison. And then Outlot 3 is going to be used for open space. All the conditions have been complied with, and the erosion control and stormwater shall be complied with at the time or prior to construction is started. The town has signed it, as well as the City of Madison.
I'll make a motion that the final plat be signed by the chair of the Zoning and Land Regulation Committee.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to have it signed. Final plat signed by the chair of the ZLR committee. Discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And it is good time. Thanks for coming. Seeing nothing else on our agenda,
Adjourn.
we have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Okay.